First met Rick, I came down to I was working for Continental Championship Wrestling, and they were about to fold, and I was just asked. I had been trained with Shane Douglas, and he told me I should just stop by the center stage tapings. He said it couldn't hurt, and it was like 3.5 hour drive from Montgomery, Alabama, where I was living, and so I came in, and some of the guys knew me, especially from the World Class tapes, because World Class was syndicated in about 120 markets. And it turned out, that Jim Cornette was a big advocate, and Jim Ross was a big advocate, and they introduced me to Rick. And the next week, or 2 weeks later, I had a tryout. It was kind of a tryout. It was a first match / tryout. When I saw my name, and thankfully, WWE did a nice special on the last show I did, but I talked about the way I felt, and I walked into center stage thinking I was in line for a little bit of a push, and then I saw my name on the chalkboard against the Steiners, and I legitimately thought about leaving the building. Like I just didn't see the future looking very good for me. And it was then that, Kevin Sullivan said, like the line that saved me, like, brother, what's your finish? I had no idea what he meant, because there was no way I foresaw me using a finish on Rick or Scott Steiner. And when I told him I dropped an elbow, and after Jim Cornette explained the elbow, Sullivan looked at me and he said, brother, he said, I don't care how badly Ricky or Scotty hurt you. When that bell rings, if you're still conscious. And I remember specifically, he said, if you're still conscious, I want to see you drop that elbow on your partner. And so I did the elbow, and I came back, and Rick was in charge at that time, and he told me they were going to be bringing me on board, and he couldn't tell me what it would be, but it would be a pretty good living, and it certainly was compared to what I was used to. So that was late '89, first time I met Rick.
So Rick hired you for WCW, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I was on the booking committee. I'm never gonna put it like that. It'd be like saying that Kevin Sullivan and I were telling people what to do. Does that make sense?
Right.
Wasn't Herd the boss then?
Rick, I believe, in my mind at least, you were the guy who brought me in.
No. I probably was, but I mean, I'm trying to think who was the head of the company.
Probably Herd.
Was Herd still? I can't remember, because I left about the time you were coming in is when I left, right?
But probably about 6 months after that. Yeah. But I left 6 months after.
Okay,
so, I think you and I left about the same time, and then the next time I caught up with you was at your house in '91. I came over with Cornette. I remember seeing your kids playing out there, and they had a nice swing set. And I think they were like 3 and 4 or something like that at the time, and we were watching some tapes, and you just started with Vince. I think we left, about the same, within 4 or 5 months of each other.
Did you go to Vince the same time I did?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't get back in there. I didn't make it there until